Okay, now we're gonna still keep on looking at common multiples, but in this case, we're gonna include letters, all right? So let's take a look. Find the first 5 multiples of each. I wanna find out what are the multiples of 6. Okay, so just the first 5. So I'm gonna start with 6, and for each additional number, I'm gonna add 6 more. So 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 6 is 24. 24 plus 6 is 30, right? I added 6 to each additional number. I just needed to make a list of 5 numbers, and there you go. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Now, don't forget to add the comma in between the numbers, and don't forget that there's a space after each comma. Okay. Now, let's take a look at number 32. Want to find out the first multiples of 13. So I'm going to start with 13. And for each additional number, I'm going to add 13 more. So 13 plus 13 is 26. Plus 13 more is 39. Plus 13 is 52, right? 39 plus 13 is 52. And then we have 65. And that's it. Those are my first 5 multiples. Don't forget again, comma in between the numbers. Forget a space after the comma. Some in your homework, some of these numbers will have a letter, right? I could give you, let's say if I was to ask you, so let me do an extra example here. If I was to ask you for the first 5 multiples of 13x, let's say I was to throw in letters. My multiples will be 13x, 26x, let me write this better here, 39x, 52x, and 65x. Those will be my multiples if I had letters. If you notice the numbers, the same thing. I'm just finding the multiples of 13. It's just that I'm adding an x in there because my question to begin with had an x. So let's take a look at number 33. Find the least common multiple of each. To be honest, let me just focus on the numbers. I'll worry about the letters in a minute. Let me just focus on the numbers. So let me find the multiples of 20 to begin with. So I'm gonna say 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, so on. Let me think of multiples of 40. So I have 40, 80, 120, 160, 200. And I know my list can continue. Let me find multiples of 30. So we have 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. Okay, so let's take a look. Number-wise, I see 120 as a common multiple. My question is there a smaller common multiple? No. I see 80, but 80 is only on 2 lists. It's not common multiple because it has to be in all of them. So nope, 80 is not. So I guess 120 is the smallest multiple there is. Okay. So number-wise, I'm going to say 120. Number-wise. Now there's letters. Okay, so I'm going to go in alphabetical order. When we say the least common multiple, in letters is going to be a little different than what we think of, okay? When I'm looking at letter-wise, I'm looking at the M's. Right now, like I said, I'm looking at M. I'm looking at the biggest exponent. Actually, I'm just looking at M's. It doesn't have to be in all 3. As long as it is just in one of the terms, right? There's 3 terms. As long as it's in one of the terms, I'm going for the biggest exponent. So when it comes to m, I'm going to go m to the third. All right, now look at n. The biggest exponent with n is just n to the 1. Now, let's say that one of my terms didn't have an n. Let me raise this n right here. Let's say one of my terms didn't have an n. My answer will still include n, because in least common multiple, not all of them have to have it when it comes to letters. As long as one of the term has it, it's enough. It's a big key here when it comes to letters. Not all of them have to have it. As long as one of them has it, I'm going for the highest exponent. So if one of my terms doesn't have an n, my answer will still have an n. Okay, let's take a look at here 34. Let me do right for the work. Let me find common factors, or let me find, the multiples. Let me find the multiples of 36. So I'm going to start at 36. And for each additional numbered, I'm going to add 36 more. So I have 72, 108, 144. I have 180, and I'll stop. Now let me find multiples of 18. I'm going to start at 18. And for each additional number, I'm going to add 18 more. So 36, 54, 72, 90, 108. Now I see 18 twice, right? I'm only going to do it once because pretty sure that other lists will be the same thing. So I'm just going to do it only once. Now let me find the least common multiple. Okay, I see 108 as a common multiple. But I'm not just asking for any common multiple. I'm asking for the smallest common multiple. I see 36 is a common multiple. 36 is smallest from all of them. So my answer number-wise will be 36. Again, I'm asking for the smallest common multiple. That's what least common multiple. So 36. Number-wise, 36. Letter-wise, let me take a look at the m. The one with the highest exponent is m to the second. Not all of them have an m, but my answer does have an m. It has to have at least in one of them. When it comes to n, I'm going to go n to the fourth. It's the highest exponent. So there we go.